Good morning, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from, everybody. It's Rod with Power Group. We're going to get started with today's live stream here momentarily, early here on the West Coast. But yeah, we're going to tackle this one here. We'll do a live stream. We'll see how many people join us. I know it's early for a lot of people, and it's Friday. Happy Friday. But we're going to get started here in about a minute or so. But just sit tight, and we'll get things started here shortly. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. See, we have a ton of people joining us, so welcome. Make sure to smash like, and we'll get started here in about a half a minute or so. Share the video around with anybody as well that can jump on last minute. And thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. Thanks for the consistent uploads, especially on recent news. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. You rock. I think you just tagged me on Twitter there, so or formerly Twitter, now X. So, but let's get started. So, welcome to the stream, everybody. It's early on Friday. It's August 18th. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back in the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. We'll get started with the live stream and the news that just broke. Truss Beverage Co. is being acquired by Tilray Brands. They're going to be acquiring that from Molson Coors, which we know the joint venture was a Hexo and Molson Coors original partnership, and then Tilray acquired Hexo. And I mentioned in a couple of videos a couple weeks ago now probably, that I was wondering, I would like to get them on for an interview and potentially figure out what's going on with Truss, right? So now we know, but this is great to see. This is good news overall. We'll try to keep this video short and sweet, somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes. But we'll give you the information and the news here. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel, all that good stuff. And make sure to share the video with anybody that can benefit from this news. But before we jump into that, make sure to give Power Group a follow over on X, which is formerly Twitter. And the handle there's Group Pow, so at Group Pow. Also just launched a store. So that's fully live now. So you can just go to my page, click on the store tab, or you can go to my website, powergroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com, and you just click on merch, and that'll bring up the store. So there's a bunch of stuff there. Cool backpack, Eagle backpack. There's actually a ton of stuff on there. So you can check that out. But Tilray has been on an absolute tear. There's just been, well, the stock price hasn't been, so it's kind of frustrating in that regard. But the good news just keeps on coming. Some people view it as okay news. I think it's good news, and it's just a testament to how big this company is getting. But they just acquired 8 brands, beverage brands from Anheuser-Busch, the maker of Budweiser. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check that out. And then there was also an article from Yahoo Finance, and it said Molson Coors Tilray searching for the next billion-dollar idea. So the fact that Tilray just acquired fully 100% of Truss Beverage Co., maybe that's Tilray's billion-dollar idea, because beverages are going to be huge, and now they're going to have an absolute stranglehold on that market segment, right? So this is huge news, and then they're going to be able to leverage that through all the facilities that they have in the States with the alcohol. It's all going to commingle very, very nicely. So there's some really cool parts of this article that I want to share with everybody, especially with regards to things changing and restaurants and the like. So we'll jump into it here. So Tilray today announced the acquisition of the remaining 57.5%. So we knew they had 42.5% ownership because they acquired Hexo, and Hexo had minority stake in that joint venture with Molson Coors, right? So they purchased the remaining 57.5% equity ownership of Truss Beverage Co. from Molson Coors Canada. I don't see the exact number here. I didn't really have time to look into it either, and just kind of went live and did this on the fly. So we'll probably get that news here shortly. There should be a filing that comes around. So I just haven't had time to look into it. But we'll go through this just to break the news. THC beverages present a significant opportunity to engage legal age consumers who haven't explored MJ as a lifestyle, medical, or functional choice. In Canada, over 10.6 million potential consumers remaining untapped. MJ beverages are almost a $100 million business at retail. Regulatory shifts are expected to facilitate market entry for beverages with the possibility of an on-tap THC option in restaurants. This is sweet. This is exactly what I've been talking about. And now that they have all these alcohol brands as well, they're already going to have relationships with the restaurants, so it'll just be an easy segue. And bars as well, promising some substantial growth for this category. Over time, we expect the regulatory landscape for beverage distribution to evolve, with authorities reevaluating their consumer policies. We expect the shift to fuel strong growth in the market of the cannabinoid-based beverages, catering to diverse needs and occasions. So Blair McNeil, who's the president of Tilray Canada, said in addition to acquiring full and direct ownership of a stable of high-growth brands, this acquisition further strengthens Tilray's number one MJ market share position in Canada and positions the company at the forefront of the adult-use beverage sector. And yeah, this is going to be on their financials, right? So before, Hexo had minority stake, so Truss Beverage Co., their financials. Well, what happened was Hexo originally had the license for MJ. So in Canada, you need to have that license. So Truss Beverage Co. was operating under Hexo's revenue and financials when they did the reporting. So when, at the end of the year, it would go on Hexo's, or at the end of the quarter, it was on Hexo's because they had the license. But then Truss got its own license, and then it went on Molson Coors because they had majority stake in that. So that's what happened there. And now 100% of this is going to go on Tilray's now. So this is going to be, easily 10 to 20 million a year, I would say, extra right now, maybe even more than that. Maybe I can't remember what the numbers were. Again, I haven't had time to look into this because this news just kind of broke and caught me off guard. But great news nonetheless. It's not a huge market, right? The beverage market, but it's going to get bigger, right? We know that they just upped the amount of drinks and things like that you can buy. I think it's like 48, and then 72 of the small ones or something like that. Basically a stupid amount that no one's ever really gonna need more than that, right? So they're gonna have 6-packs, 12-packs. There's so much growth, and then convenience stores, things like that, if you can start to buy it there. And then having a on-tap THC option in restaurant and bars looks pretty sweet. And what do they know that we don't potentially? The Canadian government's under review of the MJ Act right now as we speak. So perhaps they know something that's. Perhaps they know something that we haven't been told yet, right? So I'm just speculating, but it's a possibility, and it will happen at some point in the future. So we are excited to build upon our leading portfolio of beloved MJ brands and to further diversify our product offerings while broadening our consumer reach and enhancing consumers' lives. Beyond the MJ industry, functional beverages represent significant growth. These beverages offer consumers the functional advantages of THC and the diverse range of minor cannabinoids. These elements provide many benefits and other opportunities to enhance the lives of adults. So they got number one market share position with pro forma market share of approximately 36% in the beverage brand category. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to absolutely destroy. Their drinks are pretty much everywhere as well, and now they're going to have the XMGs, the Molos, the House of Terpenes, Little Victories. Enhances commercial framework with streamlined sales and distribution. So that's pretty much it. So that's the news. What do you guys and gals think of this news? I think it's good overall. I think it's an amazing brand. I just actually posted over on the community page these new drinks that I tried, and I also got some XMGs. And it's like I can't live without. And then #Truss, because I'll never stop buying the Truss beverages. They're amazing. So as long as, it's a little strange now that Molson Coors isn't going to be involved, and they were the ones with all the real pull and deep pockets, but Tilray's got deep pockets as well, and we knew that Tilray was saving their cash for mergers and acquisitions and investments. So that's exactly what they did. Was they invested and bought 8 brands off of Budweiser, and then they basically went after Truss. So that was another acquisition, So maybe I've speculated that they might even go after VFF. Who knows? Getting into fruit and veggies. So we'll see. But I think this is huge news. Stock not really moving. It's pretty much just down from flat from where we closed yesterday. So, but we're still in a daily uptrend. You can see our nice strong daily uptrend at the moment. And we're trying to find support here at EMA 12 here on the daily time frame. So no major red flags, especially with the rest of the broader market still be kind of weak, right? If you take a look at the S&P 500, it's been pulling back for the last 3 weeks, right? So it's been losing the low of every single candle for the last 3 weeks, so weekly consolidation for the last month, basically. And then if we take a look at Tilray over that same period, we're going, the complete opposite direction. It was up from the low there. It was up over 105%. So this is looking really, really good. And we're in a weekly uptrend as well. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross there on the EMAs. But as far as this news, market isn't really reacting. But this is definitely going to be good because it's going to add to Tilray's revenue. And they'll be able to 100% claim that because now they have majority ownership. 100%. Yeah, thank you very much, Justin. Appreciate it. Woohoo, another one, you bet. DJ Khaled's favorite line. Totally. Yeah, no, it's been good news after keep the gravy train coming because I'm loving all these. I'm loving the company that Tilray is becoming. It's just hard to fathom how big this friggin' thing's gonna be. It's pretty exciting though. But yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling. Just gonna have a drink of water here. But back on that subject of those beverages I tried last night, they weren't very good. These ones here, that one was chock full of sugar. I didn't really care for that. But yeah, there's a reason why Truss is number one because I tried all those. Pretty much every other ones that I try aren't nearly as good. The ones from Tilray weren't bad. A couple of the ones from Canopy weren't bad. But yeah, I love the fact that they have 100% ownership in Truss now. But like I said, it's kind of I wouldn't say negative that they don't have Molson Coors as a partner anymore. But they basically got everything that they needed out of them anyway, I think. And then Tilray has a ton of experience with this kind of thing anyway, and they already have a bunch of, beverage brand, like all the marketing from the beverage brands. So they're gonna have a ton of resources. I'm not worried about it. But some people, yeah, I can see how some people might look at that and say, oh, well, what's Molson Coors getting out of it for, right? Why do they think it's a losing proposition, or is it costing them more than it's going to make them? Are we early into the beverage game? Who knows? But I think this is going to create a lot of synergies in Tilray's business as well, especially in their beverage segment. So this is interesting. Got it from Tilray this morning. Excited to see how it affects the price today. Yeah, I don't really think it's gonna do much, to be honest. I don't think not that many people know what Truss is anyway. I wouldn't think, and it could be perceived either way, right? Like why? Oh, they're losing Molson Coors as a partner. But yeah, I think it's a net positive overall. I think it's bullish. But gonna start wrapping it up. Wanted to try to keep this around 15 minutes, so we're pretty much bang on. And like I said, pretty early here on the West Coast, just after 6 o'clock. Good morning. Good morning. I think it's positive and gives them more leverage in the sector, and plus they can't wait for US to get their stuff together if liquor makes them money. Yeah, exactly. I think that this is a very, very smart move, and we kind of expected something like that because on the MD&A, the management discussion and analysis for Hexo, it kept saying that management is exploring potential like investment in Truss Beverage Co. or something like that. And then when Tilray acquired Hexo, you're like, well, we're just going to go buy that. We're just going to go buy everything. So Let's do it. You bet. I don't think this is the $1 billion idea. I think something else is brewing. Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah, I don't think so either. I was just, it certainly could be in the next, like, once it's in the U.S. and then in other countries as well. Like, I think 21 countries Tilray operates. Like, the beverages haven't even started yet. Imagine when they get a tap option in the restaurant or a bar, like you mentioned, or you can buy them at convenience stores, events. It's going to be huge. But yeah, hopefully something else is brewing, something even bigger than that. What currently are your favorite Truss flavors? Okay, so the XMG Sour Apple is amazing. It's like a Sour Apple Kush, I think. Friggin' amazing. And the Grape Ape Soda is really good. That one's got a little bit more sugar in it, though, so I don't really care for that too much. It's a treat once in a while. But other than that, the Little Victories are really good. I really like the House of Terpenes. They have some martini-like options, so they have like a Moscow Mule option. You can check those out as well, but they're called, what was it, Cantinis, I think. It's pretty funny. But yeah, try those out. They're really good. And the XMGs, can't go wrong with any of the XMGs. And they also have like a bunch of like sugar-free options as well. Great news, you bet. Thank you, Rod. You're welcome. Hopefully they buy High Tide too and VFF. Yeah, just buy everything. Tilray is going up. Yeah, I think Tilray is going to high places. No pun intended. Do you think the overall markets are going down overall much, Rod, especially with the economy in China not doing so well? Yeah, so there's some Evergrande news or whatever, and it's not looking good over there. I think we're definitely entering a recession, if not already in one, and then maybe even a depression. I don't think it's going to be good. Not at all. But when that happens, we just don't know. We could be due for one more final, euphoric moment in the market, and then we crash, or we could be crashing now. We just don't really know. So we just continue to look at the trends, and there's no major chart damage at the moment. So, but it isn't looking that great. Like over the next, I would say at some point in the next 6 to 12 months, we're probably going to get pretty bloody. So all you can do is prepare for all scenarios, right? Up, down, sideways. Have a plan for when it happens, because we can't predict time, but it hasn't happened yet, so that we can still prepare, right? We still have the benefit of preparation. So as long as you have a contingency plan, as long as you have plan A, B, and C, markets can go one of 3 directions, up, down, sideways. So right. So as long as you have a plan for all, you have cash, like that's a way to hedge. You could short the S&P 500 if you have some longs. Right? So there's tons of things you can do, but I can't legally tell you what to do because I'm not a financial advisor, but everybody's situation will be different. And I've done a video on that, like how I'm preparing for one of the worst market crashes in history. I think the name of the video is called, if you just search that on YouTube, and then Pow Group should come up. And yeah, it's, I think I went through like 10 different things or something like that, how I'm preparing for it. And none of it involves timing it, right? These are all things we can do to prepare, and it doesn't matter when it happens, right? Just execute your plan once it does. But yeah, I'll continue. Maybe I'll do another update on the broader market. It's been a while since I did some charting on the S&P 500 and stuff. So good news, you bet. Thanks for the recap, much appreciated. You bet. You were Alberta a couple of days ago. Hilarious. What's your oh you mean my reference on one of the videos? Keep going, Alberta. Yeah, gotta love Alberta. Too funny, never heard that before. I'm glad I got in Tilray. Do you think Tilray may buy ACB in the near future? Yeah, I mean, they might want to get more in depth with Germany. You never know. It's an interesting point too. We could see, and then they just approved legislation. So, and then yeah, it's possible. It's a good point. Hard to say though. I'm not like a huge fan of ACB, but they are starting to pull things around. So I don't know. teaming up with Tilray, probably be the best thing they ever did. Should we be selling puts now? I don't do options, to be honest. I usually just short, do regular short shares, or you can use SPXS. There's these ETFs that are inverse, so you can use those, but I don't recommend holding those for long periods of time. If you're going to, just open a regular short position where the SPY goes down, you make money, right? So you can do that. That's an option, but no, I don't really dabble into options. It's not really my thing, and like I said, it's hard to predict time. So as long as you know the direction, it's hard enough to pick the direction, let alone add a time frame to it, right? So personally, I think it's more of the gambling aspect, but you can use it in some aspects, where you can use it as a hedge or it's kind of insurance. But yeah, I just use other means, kind of a different financial instrument, but kind of the same idea. Erwin Simon is outdoing himself as a brand builder. Fantastic brands in Tilray's arsenal. Yep, you bet. I would agree. It's looking really good. All right, gonna start wrapping it up. Hope everybody has a fantastic Friday and a weekend ahead. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. Still got over 30 people here, so quite a big turnout actually for early on a Friday morning. I was surprised, but definitely probably one of the earliest streams I've done in a while, in a long while, I think. So yeah, just after 6 o'clock when we started here. So, but yeah, have a fantastic day. I think it's great news, and I've just continued to be amazed with the moves that they've been able to do it probably at a pretty cheap discount too, because of how beaten down the market is. But one has to wonder if it was all designed, but we'll see. I think Tilray's definitely, a company it's just hard to fathom. Like I said, when you really look at the meat and potatoes of this thing, it's just like, wow, like there's so much to this freaking company that it's like, how could it not be a global powerhouse in the long term, right? 3, 5, 10 plus years from now. I think we're going to see this company at, maybe $1 billion a quarter. So yeah, it's going to be fun times ahead. All right. Hope you have a great weekend ahead as well. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Let me know if you're viewing in after the fact. Let me know what you think of this news, but I think it's net positive overall. Have a great day. See you in the next video.